morning, everyone. I hope you are ready for another archetype, and this is probably the most well-known of all archetypes and definitely the most used archetype in literature, movies, media, everything. And it has very much been on my mind lately. And it is the archetype of the hero-heroine. So I'm going to be using the term hero, but all you ladies out there just know that you can very well have this archetype also and be the heroine. So the reason it's been on my mind is because as I've been really delving into how I can serve my Coffee with Dawni people, you guys, it really has occurred to me that I see you as, yes, definitely the seeker, and we've talked about that. And I really truly feel that most of you truly have the seeker in your arcana, at the very least, like maybe your minor arcana, but many of you in your major arcana. And the archetype of the hero and of the seeker have some commonalities. But the reality is that you are all heroes. You are all the heroes of your lives. And so I have really been looking at how can I help you be a better hero in your own life. So, although I already knew about the archetype of the hero, I went back to study it some more so that I could be the best guide possible for all of you wonderful heroes out there. So let's talk some more about this one. The hero is the person who sees themselves like on a quest. A lot of times people who have hero as one of their main archetypes will speak about their life like it's a journey, right? It's the hero's journey, which is, if you think about it, what every movie and book is really about. They'll use terms like my path. They'll use terms like questing. They really see it as they are the center of their life on a quest, on their path. And every hero I know, and this is where they have some commonality with the seeker. Well, there's two main ways I see commonality with the seeker. One is that they are determined to reach their own potential. So both for the seeker archetype and the hero-heroine archetype, I often see the biggest fear being not reaching their own potential. And the other commonality I see with the seeker and the hero is they usually will have had periods of great darkness in their lives, real struggle that they learned from and built character from. So think about this, the hero's journey. So much shadow and light, so much defeat and triumph, right? It's like your life is a story. So sometimes I'll have a client that will start talking about their life like it's a movie. And I'm like, oh yes, hero archetype. A great determination to heed a call. A purpose, to fulfill a personal purpose. That's the hero. And that's the hero's journey. Okay? So in the light, the hero is very determined, very stalwart, very strong, some warrior archetype in there maybe. The hero can be resilient. That's a good word for it. Resilient. They're going to get through the tough times. They're going to get through that shadow. They're going to do their shadow work and face up to head on. This is in the light, guys. This is the hero in the light. They will face their shadow head on and do whatever needs to be done. So dedicated, determined, resilient, strong, heeding the call and the purpose of their life. Can you feel that? Those of you who have this archetype, all of these words will really resonate for you. You'll be like, That is so me. Now let's talk about the shadow of this one. The shadow of this can actually be a little narcissistic. And actually, I have noticed that a lot of narcissists have this archetype. So it can be like taking the credit. So even though the hero gets a lot of help along the way, it is the hero who in the end will usually take all the credit, right? So maybe they'll have had guides and soldiers and their partner at home or whatever, but they will often take all the credit in the shadow. So they'll also in the shadow be selfish, but even bigger, I would say a very, very common shadow of the hero archetype is to be self-absorbed. A tendency to mostly talk about themselves, to see themselves as the star and everybody else as supporting roles, if at all. The hero archetype, unless they're really in the light, if you meet them for a coffee date or something, 3/4 of the conversation will be about them, what's going on in their life, how they're conquering their demons, how they're reaching their purpose. Yeah. I have this one in my minor arcana. So I definitely have some of this and relate to a lot of this. Okay, let's talk about the deep shadow. So one of the ways I'm a little bit different in my archetype work is that I go into the shadow, but then I also go into the deep shadow. So this is really like the shadow unchecked. The worst scenario for a hero is that he doesn't face his demons head on and he doesn't reach his purpose, his calling. A hero archetype who stops going after their calling, who really gives up and who settles will be miserable. Miserable. And if they're really deep in the shadow with that, they're going to lash out at other people. They're going to try to pull other people down to feel better about themselves and their own failures. They will glorify past failures. Oh, I was an amazing football player when I was in high school. Oh, I was in the top 2% of my college graduating class. Because if they haven't had a win for a while, and if they've had a lot of defeat and failure, instead of facing that head on and shifting that, if they're in the shadow, there's a tendency to just glorify past behavior, justify and rationalize present defeats, and try to pull the people in their lives down so that they don't feel threatened by them or feel like they have to compete with them. So, the hero archetype in the shadow is very difficult to have as a parent or as a spouse, as a partner, because there's a very good chance they're going to make sure that they're going to do what they can to make sure you don't fulfill your purpose because they aren't fulfilling their purpose. Does that make sense? Can you kind of feel that? Who do you know who's like that? It can be a very nasty shadow. And it can be an amazing archetype in the light. So, let's first talk about if this is you. If this is you, you want to make sure that you are being true to your purpose and your calling. If you don't yet know what that is, you're going to want to be at least on the quest for that, looking for those answers, noticing what your strengths and your skills are, challenging yourself, facing your demons head on. How to get out of the shadow of the hero is exactly that. To be willing to check your ego And know that it isn't just about you, that there are other people involved. It's okay to make mistakes and that you can face them head on and keep going down your path and on your quest. So the hero in the shadow does great with self-awareness, self-honesty, a little humility. And I don't know, why don't you ask the people in your life how they're doing every once in a while? Now, if this is somebody else in your life who has the hero archetype, if they're in the light with the hero archetype, probably, the best thing is just to cheer them on and let them know, maybe appeal to the hero in them when you need some help. If they're in the shadow with this, you need to stand your ground and not let them mess up your path and your quest. It can be like, you can even just be direct with it. Like, it sort of sounds like you don't want me to succeed. Is that true? It's okay to call out the shadow of somebody's archetype when it's directly affecting you. Remember back to the video of being a clear mirror? But you're gonna want to really watch for that shadow hero trying to pull you down to feel better about their own defeats. And don't let it happen. Nothing is worth that. Absolutely nothing. So, amazing archetype. You can see it everywhere, 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 especially in, literature and the media. Rough one in the shadow, but truthfully, most of these are, right? Where can you see this in you? Because even if it's not one of your main archetypes, there's a chance that you have had times in your life, just like you have times in your life where you visit the martyr, just like you have times in your life where you visit the hermit, you have times in your life where you visit the hero, and you invoke that energy of like, I've got this. This is my path. This is my destiny. This is my calling, my purpose. Woo! So where have you done that? Make sure you comment on this video. Is this you? Is this your dad? Is this your husband? Is this your sister? And how has this archetype affected your life? All right, I love it. I love talking about this stuff. I love you guys. You are my heroes, and you need to let me know what I can do to help you be better heroes in your own lives. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.